All right, it is the Odd Couple, Chris and Rob. And Rob, let's stick. We talked a little bit last hour about Anthony Davis, and we're going to stick with the NBA. Of course, everyone is waiting on this Damian Lillard trade. Fans, executives on other teams.
Is it going to happen?
Of course, the Miami Heat. We'll see. I think it will.
I'm not positive.
We'll see. It just doesn't make sense for Portland to bring him back. They want to put the ball in Scoot Henderson's hands.
But also, I think when Kevin Durant said he wanted out, they didn't flinch, Brooklyn, and they waited, Chris, because they couldn't get what they wanted at that time. So I'm just saying it might happen, but it might not happen.
I think there are a couple of differences.
It might not happen when they want it to happen.
I think there's a couple of differences with that, though. One, the Nets didn't want to trade Durant.
No, I get that.
Weren't even really open to it, and obviously Portland is ready to move on from Dame. And also, Rob, and look, I still think that the Nets blew it. And I don't know that they would have won the championship. I picked them to get to the finals. You picked them to win, I think, to win the championship had they stayed together. Rob, I don't think Kyrie got more money than he would have gotten had he stayed with the Nets. And in fact, I think had he stayed with the Nets and taken them on a deep playoff run alongside Kevin Durant, or who knows, maybe to the finals, I think his value would have been higher. Instead, he went to Dallas. It went south. They didn't play well. Now, he got a nice contract. What was it, about $130 million over 4 years. But we all know he's a max player, and he didn't sniff that. And he might have had a better chance of doing that in Brooklyn. So they just self-sabotaged themselves. Injuries hurt him, but there also was a lot of self-sabotage. But that's the difference to me. They were in a position to win a championship or at least compete for one by keeping Durant. Whereas Portland, if they keep Lillard, it's just going to be awkward because they're ready to go young. But
I get that, but I don't think they're just going to give him away.
No, you got to get what you want, and we'll see. I mean, they haven't. They don't want Tyler Hero, it appears, from Miami, and so they're trying to figure out how they can get this done with or without Hero in the package. But the point I want to make, I brought that up because Richard Jefferson, former player, was a very good player, now obviously a broadcaster with ESPN, and he made a comment about Donovan Mitchell and compared him to Damian Lillard. Here's Richard Jefferson.
I think if they go to the conference finals, I could see that happening. I think that they are definitely a conference finalist, like contender. But I think Donovan has to raise his game. He's got to make sure, in my opinion, I say this respectfully, that he doesn't turn into Dame Lillard. Donovan's got to make people around him better. He's got to he's got to nurture and elevate. No different than Jordan elevated people. The only next step that Donovan can take, less of a volume shooter, more of a game manager, and making people around him better.
Well, it's interesting.
I want to hear your take on this.
Yeah, well, one, I think that I've never thought of Damian Lillard as a guy that doesn't make his teammates better. And here's why. Because when I hear the phrase doesn't make their teammates better, I think of a selfish player that's a gunner. I've never thought of Damian Lillard that way. And I don't know that RJ meant it, but that's how it sounded. And he said it respectfully. So I don't think he was trying to insult Damian Lillard. But I have looked at it. Now, Dame is not a Steve Nash or a Jason Kidd or a LeBron James. He's not like an elite distributor of the ball. He's averaged 6.5 assists for his career. And he's a point guard. So that's not like a ton of assists for a point guard. Most he's ever averaged was 8, and that was just one season. Kyrie Irving, similar. You have some point guards like that nowadays. So I've never looked at him as that type of point guard, but I also haven't thought of him as a guy that doesn't really make teammates better. I don't think he's had a championship cast around him. Mm-hmm. Not that he would, I just
they went to the Western Conference Finals, Chris. And
I think, did they get swept?
They got swept, and he didn't play that well. Warriors. But I'm saying, but they did.
Steph really gave it to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they. And you saw, they got demolished by the the Warriors. But here's the point to me, Rob, and it's not going to focus on Donovan Mitchell. This tells me, like, Dame, we're going to find out if Dame has that quality, make his teammates better. Because and I'm presuming he's traded to Miami. All right, if he's not traded to them, we may never find out. If he's traded to the Miami Heat, a team that has been to the NBA Finals without him, a team that last year was strong, obviously, got to the finals and lost to the Denver Nuggets, a team that had been there before. If he handpicked them, said that's where I want to go. If he goes to them, the Miami Heat, and doesn't, Rob, they're getting you to win a championship.
Right, nothing else. They've already been there twice. They've been there twice.
They can get there without you.
Right.
So if Dame goes to the Heat, this quote from Richard Jefferson tells me it's championship or bust, not finals or bust. Championship or bust, because that's the only step up. They've won 3 championships as a franchise. They've got Pat Riley there, who we know is only about championships. If he gets there and he can't win a championship with them, then it seems like he doesn't make his teammates better. Because if he makes them better, they'll go to the next step and win that title.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think when you say make people better, they have a good team. So it's really about he's there to be the missing piece, Chris, more so. Am I right? That's the way I look at Damian Lillard. Not like the other team, the other guys are pretty good. They just need what? No. They need another star. What the Heat had trouble scoring, Chris. That was their problem. Let's just be honest. They need him to come in and be Damian Lillard, not to pass the ball to somebody else. No.
Absolutely.
That's what they need. That's why they're going for him, because that's the missing sauce, the missing ingredient if they want to win a championship.
Nah, and that's a great point. Like, he's not going to go there and be like Draymond Green passing the ball or Magic Johnson. Like, so you're right. It's not like, they're all going to elevate. Even LeBron, who, takes a Kyle Korver and a Mike Miller and Shane Battier, and they play huge roles in championship runs and things like that. Dame, when he gets there, Robbie, kind of play your game. Play your game. He is not like a master distributor. He is a scorer. He can pass. He's a good passer. He can handle, obviously. He's obviously a Hall of Fame point guard. But I agree, it's not going to be, Dame made them so much better because of the way he shared the basketball or got everybody involved. It's going to be he was the last piece we needed.
And Dame made those shots we finally needed in those moments, Chris. That's what it'll be about. Not much else.
Absolutely. So yeah, I was surprised. Like I said, I've never thought of Dame that way, not making teammates better. I still don't think of him that way. I think he does make teammates better because he's a very good player. He's an awesome player. And I don't think he's a selfish player. Now, his game is scoring. And he's a score-first point guard. And he's a great shooter. But he's not a selfish guy where I think guys feel like he's hogging the basketball or, he won't share the rock and he doesn't want anybody else to get theirs or anything like that. So, yeah, I agree. I think he'll fit in if he gets to Miami, and we'll see if they're good enough as a team. That will be interesting. If he goes there and they keep Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler, then it'll be interesting to see how strong that team is.
Yeah, and if they win or lose, Chris, it will be about him. Like when Russell Westbrook came to the Lakers.
Well,
no. I'm just saying, but it was about him, and what I'm saying is, AD and LeBron had already won.
Right.
Do you know that? Like, so if Damian comes to the Heat and they can't get to the conference finals, it'll be about him. And it wasn't the right fit. He didn't play bigger. He's a small market guy. I'm just saying, like, those might be the things where if he doesn't play well.
No, that's a good point. Like if they're not very good,
right,
or if they go out in the second round, first round, they don't.
It'll
look
be
like
about right. They'll be like we went to the finals without him, and we went backwards.
And we saw that in Dallas with Kyrie.
Exactly.
Kyrie caught most of the flack, even though he played well individually.
He played well, right? But the team didn't play well, so they're like, we went to the Western Conference Finals. What? And now we even make the playoffs.
No question. And that's the thing. Like staying in Portland, Dame, there was that security blanket, Rob. Like he was never going to be. No, do you blame him that he didn't lead them to a championship? I don't.
No.
I don't know. I don't think anybody looks at Dame. Now, he's not as great as he is, top 75 and all that. He's not that caliber like Durant, LeBron, Embiid, somebody like that, where he's going to catch heat for not winning the championship. He's not on that level, largely because of his size. Very few, in fact, only two, Rob, small point guards have led teams to championships where they were the undisputed leader of the team, and that's Isaiah Thomas and Steph Curry. And so nobody's knocking Dame in Portland because he hasn't won a championship. But if he goes to Miami, Rob, and they do take a step backwards or just can't get over that hump, then he will open himself or have opened himself up to more criticism, to a level of criticism that he's probably never faced before. So that's something that, I'm sure he's thought long and hard about it. If he hasn't, he needs to, because he's throwing himself into that limelight by wanting to go to Miami. So